Everyone, this is Dr. Bukhari. In this video, I will teach you how you can write a good, compelling conclusion of research paper. So if you haven't got a chance to watch my videos about writing the introduction part, relating the method section part, and writing the abstract part, I will highly encourage you to scroll up in the playlist and watch those videos. With that video, I consider the people, they already have gone through this series of videos that we have, and we are at a point where you have an entire paper is ready except the conclusion part. The conclusion part is the very important part. This is the part where we will conclude our story, our research, and the conclusion part should be in a way which would convey a message, or which would really highlight the things which we have presented in our paper. A lot of mistakes that the students make. So I have listed down a couple of points that you should consider. Remember, the abstract part, we have divided the abstract part line by line, and I have explained you that how you should start with for the first two lines about the introductory, high level, then specific, then stating about your like the research method, and concluding part. We will roughly follow that structure. But now here the creativity is that we have to you carefully choose the word to not create an impression of redundancy. What I mean by that, I mean you should not repeat their sentences again and again. But the thing is, we as we are in the last part, in the conclusion part, we somehow we have to remind to the reader once again, just a reminder that why we have why you have started reading this paper, and actually why we have done this research, what was the motive behind. So the first point, I would say, restart with your research topic. That would be the first two lines of your introduction part, and maybe you have highlighted that in the first two lines, three lines of your abstract part. But we would not start this with conclusion, or to conclude with, or to sum up with. This is a very bad approach. You should start with the high level sentence, as we have listed over here in our introduction part, or you can look at the here as I'm giving the example over here, but not with the to conclude, or not to with the conclusion part. So restating the research topic is the main thing. Like you are working on, like in an LLB domain, you are working on something about the problems with polluted water. You are working on some issues where you are highlighting or improving the aviation problem. It really doesn't matter about the domain, but you will start with a high level thing. And then the second point is that now you have to restate your thesis. Like, what was your problem? If you can look at your part of the abstract, the third and fourth point, where we have started our thesis, our problem, like what was the problem involved, and how we are going to solve that thing. But again, redundancy, we should be here, we will be very precise. We don't have much margin. A conclusion part is just a paragraph. We are not going to write this one whole one pager or two pager, right? Some people, they just mix up with the conclusion with the discussion. If that would be the case, then you can go with a one pager. Usually we have the half page max conclusion, like up to similar to 250 words. Maybe we can go 300 words. Exactly, there is no kind of hard and fast criteria that what would be the length of that, but usually we keep that like in a half page. So restate your thesis. Now, while restating, you should remind the same part that what method you use. That here you can briefly explain about the result, what result you got that, and any other significant thing that you would like, that you think that, for example, you feel that your approach work better on this part. And also, if you would like to share some limitations of approach, you can also give your or provide your limitation, that your algorithms or things work in this way, but you haven't tested with that way. This will give you an idea to the person, those who are reading, give us a clue that this is a direction which is not explored, and they people can go and explore that area. So that would be part of like the summarizing the main point that you have done. And here we have to link our results or significance back to the main point. For example, we started with the main point, then we narrow down to the specific area, like what we are working on. Here we have studied about our procedure, our method, the techniques that we have used that, and then we provided the significance of that, why our algorithm is the good, blah blah blah, and what are the limitations. Now we have to hook up this thing back to the main point, that how it's contributing there to the bigger phenomena that we have started, and how it would be broader impact of your research. That should be the point at very end. And it's a good idea that you can conclude with a card, that you can give a future direction to the people, or you can give that, like if you group is planning to work like in future on some direction, you can say we have worked on this, in future we could go to explore this part. Or so the point, just to summarize that, the 5 points that I have discussed: one is restate your research topic, restate your thesis part, then third is summarize the main point, then fourth is the state the whatever the significance of the result, and the fifth point is then conclude your thoughts. And that would make your conclusion a better conclusion. Now, just quickly before winding up this session, now the conclusion also depend on the type of paper. As we discussed, if you haven't watched my videos, the types of the paper, you should stop over here and watch first the video. That will give you the idea about the different types of paper. And now, for example, if we are writing a review paper, their conclusion should be in a different style. It would go in the same way, but as we are in the review paper, we are not proposing or suggesting our method. We are basically going to summarize the thing. So that part of the type of the conclusion we call it like this summarizing type conclusion. There we defined that we read this paper from year 2006 to 2016. We looked at we had this question, and mostly people are working there. So like this part of this type of the conclusion is summarizing type of conclusion, right? Now the second type, another type, is like the externalizing something, like where you are giving a hook idea for the people to work to a futuristic point, that you are working on the say one algorithm in a technique to make a good vaccine, right? But like, for example, this mRNA vaccine. So you worked on mRNA vaccine that would work for the COVID. Now, you can tell here, if you tell in your conclusion or in your work, that how the people, they can use these techniques and to produce a vaccine for say cancers, for the other HIV, for the others. So that would be a kind of externalizing. You are hooking, you are just showing the directions. And then a third type of conclusion is the editorial kind of conclusion. Editorial kind of the paper, if you see that, again, watch that video, you will get the idea that what type of the papers are the editorial type of papers. So the editorial types of paper, if you are writing that paper here, you will conclude yourself. That's here you will give your own thoughts, because like you will say, according to my thinking, what I have observed, that based on my experience, editorial papers are the type of the paper that where you give your opinion, where you provide your point of view. So the conclusion would be your come from your thoughts. So that was the all the main point. In conclusion, the main point, the main mistake the students make, that they make it redundant, they make it very large, they make it a not creating a coherent story. So whatever they have in the abstract, they are saying or telling a different story in the conclusion. So that would not work. I mean, you should stay consistent. Whatever in the abstract here you have stated at the beginning, in conclusion you are concluding that. So abstract should reflect with your conclusion part. So if you write in that way, your conclusion, the people will like your conclusion, and you will get a very good feedback. Well, thank you so much. I will try to put some good examples and some bad examples also in the description. And if you haven't get a chance again to watch my other videos, please watch that, subscribe this channel, like and share. And